Scotty Clays, and this is Lizzie DeRoulet, and today we'll be having a horn lesson. First, Lizzie, I'd like you to take your mouthpiece off your horn, and we're going to do some lip buzzes. We're going to do a matching pitch, so repeat after me. One more time. When putting your lips up to the mouthpiece, make sure that the ratio of upper and bottom lip is 2/3 upper, 1/3 bottom. When you play trumpet, it's half and half, but with horn, you want more upper lip than you do lower lip. So try one more time with that in mind, and repeat after me. What's your favorite song? Do you have a song?
Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.
Twinkle, Twinkle, that's a classic. So we're going to play that together, starting on 1 and 2 and twinkle now. Excellent. You feel a little more warmed up now?
Yeah.
Good, good. Do you have any questions so far about buzzing?
Why can't I get my low buzzes out?
Why can't you get your low buzzes out? One secret that I've learned to get lower buzzes out is when you are going for low, you have to relax everything in general, and the muscles that control that are here in the corners of your mouth. So when you're loosening, instead of going ee-oo, oh, ee-oo, ee-oo, and if you do the ooh vowel, it will loosen up the muscles a little bit, and then the aperture will be a little bit larger for the lower notes. So with me, go ee-oo, 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 ee. Now put your mouthpiece up and go ee-oo, 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 ee. Now we're going to add pitch. You're going to go ready and go. See, do you feel the it's all in the corners of the mouth. So to get a low note, you want to feel a little more pressure on the upper part of your lips, the upper lip, and your jaw will drop a little bit, so there'll be more space in your mouth. Okay. So let's try a lower note, or copy my note. So. Try putting a little more upper lip in it. Let's try a little higher. There it is. Now go. No, keep going. It's okay. See, now did you feel, what did you experience when you went to the lower note? What did your mouth do? What did you think?
I had more corners and a little bit lengthening this way.
So you would say there was, the opening that the air was coming out of was larger on the lower note.
Yes.
So a lot of this is an acquired feeling. The more you buzz, the more comfortable you'll feel with, the range. Because you're really good with the higher notes. It sounds pretty good. Let's try some higher notes and see how high we can go. So. What did you experience with the higher notes? How did that feel?
That can't, like, lots, or my lower lip was higher up, I think, and just more firm.
Yes, more firm. The smaller opening for the air, faster air.
Yes.
Yes. So how does the air in the higher range compare to the lower range? The air speed.
I think it's just a smaller diameter of air that's forcing it through faster.
Very good. All right. So now, since we've been buzzing a lot, let's work on some posture. You're sitting nicely at the edge of your C, and your back is nice and straight. And when you're bringing the horn up, you want to bring the horn to you. Do not come to the horn. A lot of younger students will sit there and they'll be down here, or they'll have it here, and you want the horn to come where it feels comfortable for you. So can you show me your playing position? All right, so this is good. You have it on your knee, which is just fine. You're not coming to the horn. You have your hands in the proper position, your thumb. When the right hand position, you want to have your fingers together, kind of like when you're swimming, you don't want the water to escape. The same idea, you don't want the air to go through, so make sure they're all together and cup it just a little bit. And you want it to be on the outside of the bell, leaning up against. You can kind of look inside and see the wear and tear. Like right there is usually where people lay their hand because it's a little more rough. And you want it to, if you're sitting, you want your knuckles to be right about where the bell is flaring out. And if you go further in, it'll affect your intonation. You'll be really sharp. Yeah, I think you'll be really sharp. And if you pull all the way out, you'll be really flat. Okay. So this affects your tuning just as much as the tubing aspect in your mouth. So just gently on the outside wall of the bell, and your knuckles right about where the bell flares out. Make sure your fingers are always together. And also you want to make sure that your elbow does not collapse, because if your elbow collapses, you're going to be cupping instead of flat, and then you'll be muffling your sound as well. So just make sure the elbow is out solid and that your hand is still allowing the sound to come out. Yes, wonderful. That'll be great. So now let's do some long tones on a C, which is bomb C. 1, 2, whole note. Now rest. Rest. Off. Can I hear your C alone? 1, 2, whole note now. 4. Okay, you are sharp, so let's take a look at your tubing in the back. Your tuning slides. This one is pushed all the way in. It needs to be pulled out a little ways. Okay, so with the horn, it's a double horn, which means that there's pretty much 2 horns in one.
Okay.
The F side of the horn are all of the fingerings without the trigger and the tubing on the top layer. And then the F horn is tuned with this slide on our model. And then the B flat side is when the trigger is depressed and the air goes through the tubing on the back side of the horn. And then this tuning slide is the main tuning slide for the B flat side of the horn. So we were using the F side, and the F side should not be all the way pushed in. So we're going to pull you out about that far. Try your C again. 1, 2, C, go. Oh, did you hear that difference? Yeah, much better. So let's try a C major scale for us, which would be what key on the piano?
You're going to cut this part out, right?
No. Think about it. When you
so
play
D,
C,
G,
it is your key. When you play a C,
F major.
yes, that's right. All right, so 1, 2, F major, go. One thing I noticed is that you were kind of unsure about when to depress the trigger in that scale. A good rule of thumb is any note over our G, which would be this G, which is open, and then A, B, C, those you should have the trigger depressed from. So G sharp and A. The B flat side of the horn is a shorter horn. If you look, the tubing is significantly shorter than the top, like especially if you look at your first slide. This one is a lot longer than this one. And so when you are playing on a shorter horn, there's less resistance, and so it makes it easier to play the more extreme parts of the horn.
Okay.
Do you have any questions so far?
Not right now.
Good, good. Let's do a concert B flat scale, which would be, or not concert B flat, our B flat, which instead of being F, it'd be down a whole step, down a, here, I'm going to go to the piano real quick and just play it. So it would be right here. How many flats are in B flat?
2.
Excellent. How do you finger an E flat?
Isn't it open?
No. No. It is 2.
2. Okay.
2. And how do you finger a B flat?
1 and trigger.
Excellent. So let's start on our B. Our B in this range, the ba, you can just play with 1. You don't have to have the trigger. So 1, 2, whole notes now. Struggling with anything in U-band in particular that you've not understood so far?
I've just been having trouble like getting a consistent clear tone.
Consistent clear tone. A lot of that is air, just because the air is totally different than with bassoon, and for me it's different than clarinet. It's just a different focus, a different feel. Getting this, the muscles, it's like when you're athletic training, you can't just lift 300 pounds the first day. You just have to consistently work on it. One thing, if you really are struggling with the buzzing, just, take your mouthpiece home, and when you're watching TV, just, and just, oh, I'm going to play a scale on here. That kind of thing. Also, make sure you have a warmer air. It's warmer air, like than clarinet. Air is fast, cold. This is a little bit slower and warmer in general for most brass. Now we're going to do some natural horn exercises, which are when you hold down a fingering, or you just use open fingering, and you go from partial in the harmonic series. So we're going to go C, E, C, E, C, E, C, E, C. 1, 2, on C now. One thing I forgot to mention, you want to try to slur that as much as you can, because it will work on getting the flexibility in the lips, and it will also help you hear the pitches a little bit better. So let's take it a little slower. 1 and 2 and quarter notes first. Let's try some eighth notes. We're going to go quarter, 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 eighth, to think. Go. 1. Let's try that and see how it goes. 1 and 2 and ready, go. Good. Let's try triplets going into 16th notes. We're going to go dee da do dee da do dee boo dee boo dee boo dee boo dee. Ready and go. How does that feel?
Oh, that's a challenge.
Good, good. How do your lips feel right now?
Pretty good. They're a little bit, not sore, but like
Tingly?
feeling it right there.
Yeah, right. So that's a good exercise if you're like, gee, I'm having a hard time just getting the pitches accurately. Try some dee-da, dee-da, or you can go dee-da, dee-da, and just do it on natural horn, open fingerings. Don't worry about changing fingerings on every single pitch. Do you have any questions? No? Excellent. Let me check our time. Oh, we've been going for almost 18 minutes. Are there any special subjects that you would like to discuss in the last few minutes?
Well, okay. Can you talk about which points you get
water
condensation out? Yeah.
Okay. For me, you can pull this slide out. I've always learned that this was a spit slide, so you just pull that out, and then you pull your mouthpiece off. Make sure you put it somewhere safe, and then you just dump over here. Sometimes you need to rotate it around because it gets stuck, and then it'll pour out. Then you can also check, for me, and also Hunter, the other horn, the first horn player in U band, we've noticed that for me it acquires right back here on the first trigger hole. You, when you're pulling out slides, you want to make sure that you depress the trigger according to which tubing. So if you're going to just pull out the first one, you only need to depress the top. If you want to pull out the back, you need to depress the trigger as well. So when you're pulling, if you hear a popping noise, that's bad, because eventually that can make it so that your slides won't fit in there, like there's suction in here, and if you it'll make them, so your slides will fall out. Also, just thinking about gravity in general, this part of the horn is lower, and so it's blowing through. Gravity will pull it down. I've noticed it will accumulate in this bottom slide on the B flat side of the horn. And then when you're pouring it out, don't pour like this, because then your water's just going to go into this crook. Always pour so it comes out. Look, there it is. And if you're having a hard time squeezing your fingers back there, you can always take off this first set of tubing to get to the back ones. Some of these are in here pretty tight. If you ever have trouble getting a slide off, I would advise you go talk to Dr. K. So you don't break it or something, because I'm just paranoid and I wouldn't want to break my horn. One thing, you can kind of blow into your horn without buzzing and hear where the water is. So if you would have nothing depressed and you hear gargling, then it would be, oh, it's probably somewhere here in my lead pipe. Or if you hear gargling within, when you depress certain keys, then you can be like, oh, well, I heard a whole bunch of gargling when I put down 3 and trigger. It must be down here. Or I heard a lot of gargling when I put down 2. It must be right here. Okay, so that's another thought. Any more questions?
That's it for right now.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for meeting with me, Lizzie. And if you ever need anything else, just holler.
Awesome. Thank you, Scotty.
Mm-hmm.